had to look at my relationship to my art form continuously as I've aged, because it has to be relevant. So when I turned 60, there was this shift that happened, whether it was psychological, body shift, I don't know. All I know is I was aware of how much slower, the energy level. The most important part of flamenco is the compás, the rhythm. That's our north, south, east, and west. The rhythm is what binds us, what we have to adhere to. And in flamenco, you're about precision. I have such high respect for flamenco. Precision is precision. You're in compás or you're not. I decided to start Pasión y Arte at 2000. I need to have a way to empower women. I realized how much it empowered me. Just the stance alone, you're immediately in attitude and you start believing this. So I wanted to have a company that was all about women for women, our own protagonists of our own story. Women who are with each other in a community, helping each other, supporting each other, and making work for women and about women. There was nothing like that at the time. Historically, the dance form was very divided between men and women. And for women, it got really sexualized. And the men were the macho, the powerful ones, and you know. So men and women right now can do this exact same thing. Can arms, footwork, you can dance exactly the same way. Female, male. Exciting. Flamenco's history is very complex, and there are a lot of theories. The one we all know is flamenco was born out of angst. For over 800 years, the Arabs were in central to southern part of Spain. Lots of cultures lived cohesively together. Sephardic Jews, Arabs, Romani, Northern African. Ferdinand Isabella came in late 1400s, said Catholicism or else. And that's when all these people either fled or they converted. And these people that fled had nothing in common except their sadness. They were homeless. And flamenco was born out of that. The history of flamenco starts with cante, the voice. Cante came about in the 1600s. Then, in the 1800s came the guitar and dance. That's what flamenco is about. The feet, the guitar, the percussive component of flamenco, most flamencologists theorize it comes from the Kathak tradition, the Indian tradition. So I think what happened is you have people who lived in small homes who were hiding, constantly hiding. The percussive part was very important, the cathartic component of flamenco. How do we release some of this energy? How do we feel? In flamenco, we dance to emotions. Each rhythm family is an emotion. So the percussive component has to be about releasing energy through. I was born in La Paz, Bolivia, and I started dancing Spanish classical dance in a conservatory at 5 years of age. I was supposedly born in the Spanish family, so that's what we practice, being Spanish. At age 12, I was introduced to flamenco. There was a gypsy dancer that came through La Paz, and I knew that that was the way and how I wanted to move. It spoke to me. It allowed me to feel things that I couldn't feel outside of that environment. I was living in a very, very confusing environment at the time. And now that I look back at it, I understand what it was confusing. We're not Spanish, we're indigenous, thank you very much. Growing up in La Paz, Bolivia, in this pretend Spanish family and highly, highly, highly segregated indigenous population at the time, they were slaves. And I saw it, and I felt the impact of that. And that's why I gravitated to flamenco unconsciously. Thankfully, I came here for college purposes, removed myself from that world, and started my own world. And then I had to do a DNA test. I discovered that I'm 48% Andean ancestry. So that impacted me heavily. I understood now why I was so confused about it all. The sad part is I told my family this. They don't believe me. They think it's wrong. It's not. They still are in their world. And I've always been the outsider in my family. Now even more. I dance now when I want to, as opposed just to like, okay, this is a show. And you just have to look at that. What is it that still feeds me? Performance at one time was something that I really enjoyed. It was never really the huge component for me. It was always about the politics, the feminism, and now racism. Now that I'm 62 with a lot more knowledge about me, I've integrated lots of parts of me and I can share that. So my relation to flamenco is about teaching young women bodies. I'm very much about teaching, making people understand the power of flamenco, especially women. I've always been interested and love to choreography. I'm doing much more choreography now. In flamenco, it's a lifelong journey. So I had to look at myself and say, at age 60, what is it that I love about you, flamenco? And I fell in love with it all over again.